Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, hopefully the quality is better, audio quality is better. I started using my camera again because I have my own little office now, so there's no excuse as to why I shouldn't be using it, right? So hopefully everything is better for you guys. Hopefully it's not all blurry, audio is better. But anyways, with that being said, guys, on this video I'm basically going to go over my top 10 tips for starting an Amazon FBA business in 2022. So hopefully this video will get you guys on the right foot if you're thinking of starting an Amazon FBA business, because recently I've been getting a lot of DMs on Instagram and whatnot just asking me some of the basics of what software should I start with, how do I do this, how much money should I start with, just a bunch of variables, right? So hopefully once I'm done with all these tips, you guys have a better understanding of what to start with when it comes to starting an Amazon FBA business. So number one on the list, you want to focus on selling anything, right? Anything. Like, just buy something from Walmart. Even if you take a loss, just buy it, send it in, and make your first sale. Just focus on making your very first sale. Even if you lose money on it, at least you will have learned some of the process of what it takes to start sending shipments to Amazon FBA. So you want to at least start focusing on your first sale. Sell, I don't know, little packs of Kool-Aids or something, something very cheap, $5. Learn the process, and that'll get you started right on the right foot. So now, number two, focus on learning. You want to not rush, but you want to make your mistakes very, very early. Okay, so let's say you send a customer a certain product, but it was the wrong product. You want to learn from that mistake, refund them, move on. Maybe you send something to Amazon FBA where you forgot a certain label. Learn from that mistake as well. Maybe you put in the wrong weight for the box or something, Learn from those mistakes early, head on. The faster you make these mistakes, the more you will learn from it, and it will better benefit you and your business, okay? Especially when you want to start scaling. Now, number three, invest with little money. I get this question asked a few times here and there. How much money should I start with when it comes to selling on Amazon? And the honest truth, guys, is that you want to start with very little money, because I get it. You want to start with $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, because you want to accelerate that business. And yeah, with that much money, you will accelerate very, very fast. But the problem with that is, if you make a lot of mistakes, you're gonna burn through your money very, very fast. So I always tell people, hey, if you're starting with that much, huge amount of money, you want to start with at least $1,000. That way, if you lose some money in the process, it's just a few hundred and not thousands, okay? But if you're starting with less than that, then you don't really have much to worry about. So invest with little money, so you can learn those mistakes, and then once you get comfortable with the business, then put the difference and really scale your business. Number four, learn Keepa. Keepa is probably the biggest tool that every Amazon seller uses to do their proper research when it comes to sourcing and finding profitable products. This is what really changed the game for me, was when I started learning what Keepa was, because it tells you a lot of data, guys. It tells you how much a certain product sold for 3 months ago, 2 months ago, even the past year. It'll tell you what the price is looking at currently. It'll tell you how many sellers were on that listing before, how many are in them now. It'll show you if the amount of sellers are going up. Usually when that happens, the price will tend to fall down, the price start tanking. So it'll tell you all this data. Just learn how to use Keepa, really. Go on YouTube some videos on how to read a Keepa graph. If you want me to draw one, let me know. Drop a comment down below. I can draw one if you want me to. I'll try my best. But yeah, Keepa, number one tool, and probably the only tool you really need. Number five, leading from this, don't need fancy equipment, at least not in the beginning, right? So what I mean by this is that, I get it. When you're starting a business, you want the best of the best equipment, right? You want the fancy software, you want the fancy tools, you want, I don't know, maybe a pallet jack or something. But the bottom truth is, guys, that when you're starting off, you don't need to worry about none of these things right now, okay? You don't need to buy 5 different software that's gonna help you into your business, because trust me, I've been there before. I remember I bought like 3 or 4 different softwares when I was first starting, wasting hundreds of dollars for no reason, and I ended up canceling all of them because they didn't serve me and my business any purpose whatsoever, right? To this day, Keepa is the only software tool that I use for my sourcing. Like, that's literally all I use, and I'm making $20,000 to $30,000 a month. So, I mean, again, that's just my experience. Other people, they might need fancier equipment like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout to do their sourcing. But that's perfectly fine. Hey, if it fits your business, then by all means. But when starting out, you really don't need any of that right now. So, anyways, number 6, and this is a really important one, guys, is, you want to understand your why as to why you want to start this business, right? Because I get it. You want to make extra money on the side, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's what I did in the beginning too. I decided, hey, let me start this business, make some extra bucks. And, along the way, I was like, yeah, I can use this business to quit my job. And so that ended up being my end goal with the business when I was at my job. I wanted to quit this job and run the business full time to spend more time with my family. And 2 years later, that's what happened. So understand your why, because I know some people, they've asked me, like, is it worth it, right? Like, is it worth starting an Amazon business? And honestly, only you yourself will know that. So, but if you're worried about starting a business and, being risky, maybe consider getting a different job. Maybe you just hate that specific job you're at, but you love the career. So try looking somewhere else, apply somewhere else. Trust me, right now, plenty of jobs are hiring. I mean, you'll have no problem getting a different job. So yeah, just understand your why. Otherwise, you will burn out down the road if you don't understand your why and why you're doing this, right? So yeah. Number 7, be patient, guys. I cannot tell you how many people jump into this business thinking, oh man, I only made $1,000 for my first month. I made only like $100-200 on my first month, and yet some of you are complaining you made a few thousand. I mean, dang. If there's anybody who has the most patience in this world when it comes to this business, it's probably me. Yeah, because man, some of you guys are killing it right now, but you think you're not doing enough. I mean, just be patient, man. Building a business takes time. You know what they say? Most small businesses barely see a profit within their first 2 years or something like that. So you just have to be patient, man. Because if you're not patient and not staying focused, you're gonna end up quitting. And honestly, that's why a lot of sellers end up quitting, is because they become impatient because they're not seeing the results. But it's also gonna come down to how much work you're putting into your business. And that leads me up to point number 8, is spending time on the business on the daily basis. When you're starting out, you want to be spending at least 4 to 6 hours on your business and focused on basically just sourcing. Okay, you want to focus on sourcing on profitable products every single day, because that's your main goal, is to make money. So you want to just spend all your time sourcing, finding those products that will bring in the money, finding those products that you can keep selling one by one, replenishing them little by little. So just focus on sourcing, guys. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the work, because this business is the type of business that it'll show you what you've been putting in. If you've only been putting 2 hours a week on your business, then those are the results you're gonna see. If you've been putting 100 hours into your business every week, then you're gonna see those results. So yeah. Number 9, understanding the cons and dangers of selling on Amazon. These days, a lot of influencers make it seem like it's all rainbows and unicorns when it comes to this business, but the bottom line is that there's a lot of dangers that come with selling on Amazon, such as IP claims, getting your account suspended or even terminated. And if that happens, well, then you're gonna have to hire a lawyer and pay them a few $1,000 just to hopefully start appealing that. And I mean, it's just a lot of drama, honestly, if you're not very careful and you don't understand the risks that come with this business. So, but I mean, I made a video on all the top, I think 5 or 10 cons and dangers of this business. I'll leave a link down below, so check that out if you haven't already. Should be the video before this one, so check it out. Understand the cons and dangers, because if you're not aware of these things, guys, when these things hit you, you're gonna be extremely shocked, and then you'll really quit. So check those out before you start this. Number 10, understand what method of selling you want to do when you start selling on Amazon. So when it comes to selling on Amazon, a lot of people just get into the assumption that you're gonna make something in China from a manufacturer, you're gonna have it shipped over here to the US, and then you're gonna have to buy ads or whatever, because that's what a lot of influencers these days target you on, that you have to do this and that. But the bottom line truth is that there's so many methods when it comes to selling on Amazon that there's just not a specific one that can fit all of us, right? So for example, there's retail arbitrage. This is where you go into the store, you source, you buy it, and then you flip it on Amazon. Stores like Walmart, Target, Kohl's, or whatever. Then there's online arbitrage, which is basically the same thing, except instead of going into the store, you're sourcing on the laptop or your computer desktop, and you're purchasing the item on there and then having them shipped to your house, and then you ship them back into Amazon. And there's wholesale, where you're contacting distributors, wholesalers. You're ordering pallets from these companies, and then having them shipped to your spot. And then there's, private label, like I mentioned earlier. And so another thing with that is that you want to follow influencers who are doing what you want to do. So, for example, if you want to do retail arbitrage, you don't want to follow someone who's doing private label. They're going to serve you no purpose whatsoever when it comes to retail arbitrage. Just like if you're doing wholesale, you don't want to follow someone who's doing retail arbitrage. They're going to serve you no purpose into wholesale, right? So, but 9 times out of 10, if you're doing wholesale, you already know the rest. So, but yeah, and even on influencers, right? Like, you got to be careful with that. And I mean, that's the thing also with the methods, is that you need to understand which one best fits you and your personality. So for example, people who are introverted, they might not want to go into the store and network with people. They might just want to sit back on the laptop, on the computer behind the desk, and just do it all from the comfort of their home. So online arbitrage will fit that person, and not retail arbitrage. Versus someone else who doesn't mind going into the store, they'll probably do more retail arbitrage than online arbitrage. So again, it's about understanding you, yourself, and your personality, and then just Googling all the different methods, what works with what, and just YouTubing a lot of information. So make sure you do your research up front as to which method you want to follow through, and then go into that, okay? Because there's also different softwares for different methods as well. So you don't want to be into retail arbitrage downloading a software for private label, right? So again, it's all about doing the research. But anyways, guys, so yeah, those are my top 10 tips for starting an Amazon FBA business in 2022. Hopefully these tips helped you. Hopefully they get you on the right foot. Hopefully that answered a lot of your questions out there, especially those who have been DMing me lately about these things. And if there's anything you want me to go over or make a video on, drop a comment down below. I can make it. Otherwise, guys, be sure to smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button, alright? But other than that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.